Well, it's about July 9th, I think is the date today, and you can see how poorly the pond is doing. That bluegill bedding area should be about, well, you can see it sort of a line there. The bluegill bedding area should be about 4 feet deep there, 3 feet deep there, down to about a foot deep there, 2 foot, something like that. The water level should actually be right at the legs of the feeder, and you can see the outflow pipe over there. So the pond is about 5 feet down. It was filling up very nicely this spring. The bluegill bedding area, actually the bluegill were bedding in it just a couple of months ago. So I'm hoping that they at least had some new offspring this year. And then the water level just started to drop sort of dramatically. So you can see I've got a issue going on with some vegetation. That is chara. It's a type of algae. I haven't stayed on it. Regular treatments of copper sulfate will kind of keep that at bay. I just haven't been doing that this year. But we are over here today to rake out the biggest part of that chara. I bought some bentonite as sort of a Hail Mary. The bentonite is, I've talked to a lot of guys that have not had good luck with it, but we're going to go ahead and try it because the only real other option is to drain the pond, and we just drained this pond and started from scratch about 3 years ago. The pond has always held water very well, to my knowledge. We bought the place 3 years ago, but I'm intimately familiar with this property. It was grew up right next door, and the pond has never looked like this. So something happened. We've got a hole, I'm guessing, in the bottom of the pond because I can't find anything on the dam. The dam is dry. I go down below the dam. The little stream that, empties when the pond is flowing out, that stream is dry. There's nothing wet down there. When we drained this pond about 3 years ago, I remember there's a sort of a spring that I noticed, a pothole, probably about 2 feet diameter, that's in the area right out here. And we drained the pond completely dry, or down to about a foot of water. So that area there, when the rest of the pond was drained, which is normally about 10 feet deep, this would have been about 3 feet out of the water. And it never stopped flowing, just a very slight trickle of water in. Well, my thinking is that's a hole that is exposed to the water table. And now what I'm hoping the problem is just that pothole, rather than letting water into the pond, is now letting water out of the pond. So I've got a pretty fair idea of where that hole is right in this neighborhood. So we're going to drag all the chara out, get it as cleaned up as we can. We're going to walk around in there because it should only be about 3-4 feet deep right now. Try to find that sort of indention. Again, it's about a 2 foot diameter pothole that should be about a foot deep. So hopefully we'll be able to walk out there and find it with our feet and then dose it real heavy with bentonite. If we can't find that pothole, we're just going to treat that area. I bought 10 50-pound bags of bentonite, and apparently it comes in a granular form and it also comes in a powder form. So the stuff that I got is feels like it's about marble size, or maybe, well, it's smaller than marble size, but maybe feels like a pea, like you'd eat, a snow pea or whatever. Feels like about pea-sized chunks in there. So we'll see what it looks like when I get it opened up. But this stuff is right now at my farm supply store. I paid $15.50 a bag for it. Depending on where you shop around, I found it as cheap as 13 and as expensive as 25. So that's the bentonite we're going to use. This is the rake. Welded this up with the help of my nephew a few years ago. We dragged all the chara out of this pond, and it actually worked very well. So it's just little stubs of rebar on some scrap metal that I had laying around, and a couple of attachment points there for rope. So the way this is going to work is we're going to take these 2 sections of rope, tie it to the eyelets. Those will get tied to the tractor with quite a distance between, and he goes out in the pond and he'll set the rake down where we want it, and then I'm on the tractor and I pull it back. And then he picks up the rake and he pulls it back out, keep the slack out of the rope, and set it back down on where he wants it again. And then I pull back with the tractor. rake is working pretty well again. It's a lot of manual labor, so, you know, it is nice if you got somebody that's willing to work. You know, it's hard work down there in that water. Hard, muddy work. But that's basically the process we're doing. We're just gonna do that back and forth a bunch of times. Is that it? You found it?
It's a big old hole.
Okay, well.
About 2 feet deep.
Is it that deep?
Yeah. I'm up to my knee. I mean, here.
You're up to your knee in the hole?
Yeah, I'm up there.
No way. Well, you can see the mess that we've got here. We've been just dragging this muck out, and you know, a lot of muck is getting mixed in with that chara. And again, I know that's chara. It's an algae. It's you know, it looks like a plant, but it technically is an algae. We've been playing this game for, I guess, about an hour and a half now, and we moved around to that corner. You can see, I mean, it's making a huge difference. There's still a lot of clumps of stuff floating around. We're taking a little break right now. But I mean, you can see that the dramatic difference from, you know, when you run that rake through to what it used to look like. So we're just gonna keep on. We're gonna go ahead and drag this out. We drug across that hole a couple times. But we're gonna go ahead and continue to drag the chara out. I wanna clean up from those cattails all the way around here. So we got a little bit more to do over there, probably another hour of that, and then we're gonna focus our attention on that hole.
Okay, they're trying to dig out the hole and dig out the loose silt before they put the bentonite in. Okay. Maddie's making a movie. Okay, you got it. Dad, there they are. Good job. That's Maddie's view. They found this hole over here, but they went ahead and they walked all the way around. They're just looking for any other holes.
So we've already dumped 2 bags of this stuff in there, and we're just working in the hole. He was using the shovel handle before as a sort of a packing tool. We're just trying to work our heels down because the hole, it feels like it's about as big around, oh, it's about 3 feet diameter. It's about 2 feet deep, and it has almost vertical walls. And at the bottom of the hole, it tapers sort of to a cone, and we can put our feet down in there, and it's silty, clay, but a lot of rock. You can feel a lot of rock coming in. So what we're trying to do, we've dumped 2 bags in there, and we're trying to pack it down into that bottom, where I'm sure if water's going out the hole, it's going out the bottom, it's leaching through the rock. So the idea is we're gonna try to pack that hole, the whole hole, as tight as we can, and then we're gonna dump whatever we have left around the hole and sort of make a cap over the hole. That's the idea.
Hold it in your hand a little bit.
So that's kind of what it looks like. And you can get it in different consistencies. You can get it all the way down to powder. But this is what I wanted in particular, because we're working underwater, we want it to sink. With powder, it might have sort of suspended. So we want this to get down to the bottom. So take this in there, just dump it in and keep stomping around and trying to pack it. Well, it's about 8:30 p.m. and I think we started this project today over here at the pond about 4:30 or almost 5 o'clock. So we've been playing over here at the pond for about 4 hours. It took all 10 bags to fill that hole, and I had another bag, a partial bag up in the barn from a completely unrelated project. So we went ahead and dumped that in there, and that was almost a full bag. So we put 11 bags in that hole. It was kind of, I guess it was elongated. It wasn't necessarily round, but so that would have put about 550 pounds of bentonite in that one hole. It's just about level now. So I would have loved to had more to sort of cap, you know, mound over the thing, but we'll just see how it goes. I'm gonna go up, run up to the barn, get some flags or a flag and stick it here at the water level. And that way I can sort of monitor it and see how it does. While we were down here, we had shovels. We went ahead and fixed that retaining wall. Had blown out last spring. I just hadn't gotten around to fixing it. And it's kind of convenient to do it now. So you can see sort of the mess around here. I'll get the grapple on the tractor maybe tomorrow and sort of scoop up all this sludge and chara. It'll dry up in a day or two, you know, drier, and be able to scoop it up easily with that grapple, I think. So that's it for this video, guys. Go ahead and click that subscribe button, and I will continue to post updates to let you know whether the fix worked or not. If you like this video, click that thumbs up button. You want to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button. And until the next time, keep on tinkering.